What am I, a chimpanzee?
GameTrailers 2011 Game of the Year Awards. Most disappointing.
2011 wasn't just a great year for games, it was a truly exceptional one. A lot of the hype behind the industry's big bets is actually justified, with worthy sequels and successors stepping up to deliver the goods. Unfortunately, they can't all be winners, and the following games stumbled, fumbled, or otherwise failed to live up to our hopes and dreams.
What about the game, Duke? Was it any good?
And the nominees are Brink.
The developer behind the Enemy Territory game seemed to have the knowledge and skill to pull off a new kind of team-based FPS, but despite the impressive ability of its acrobatic characters to navigate their environments, things just don't come together for Brink. It's decent, but repetitive, and based upon the marketing and advertising placed behind it, it's a commercial failure. Despite a keen focus on cooperative tactics, the game's incomplete feel and lack of punch ultimately sink the multiplayer ship. There's no coming back from this Brink.
That was too close.
Duke Nukem Forever.
Time to stop pissing around and get this big guy back into action.
After 15 years of development, Duke Nukem Forever finally hit stores in 2011. Sadly, the strained, prolonged effort to push the game out of the pipeline only resulted in an underwhelming, questionable game that lacks any legitimate humor. With dated pop culture references and barely competent shooting, the game just doesn't live up to the legend, or the increasingly high standards of the genre. Better luck next time, Duke. Hopefully there is a next time.
Go get him, Duke! You got this!
From Dust.
Eric Chahi is something of an industry legend for developing the amazing solo project Out of This World. From Dust, a terraforming god game reminiscent of Populous, looked amazing when it debuted, and even better when we got to play it at E3. It's fascinating to watch various elements interact with each other, but pathfinding problems plague the tiny men you seek to save, and the focus on precision puzzles feels harsh and limiting. It's a shining example of why it's never good to pass judgment on a game before you play the final product.
House lights?
Ratchet and Clank, All for One.
Thank you for having us, Kip.
While Insomniac has an excellent track record, the watered-down and glitched-up Ratchet and Clank All for One is as close as it comes to a total misfire. The game's focus on 4-player co-op isn't exactly a punishable offense, but there's no denying that it feels smaller and significantly less polished than what we're used to seeing from the developer. Riddled with bugs and lacking nuance, we're disappointed to see a game like this with Insomniac's name on it.
Test Drive Unlimited 2.
At the next intersection, turn left.
This racing game with an open island world worked pretty well the first time, and the sequel was set to improve on the driving experience with a storyline and more and better everything. While Unlimited 2 retains a sense of freedom and generally okay driving, numerous technical problems literally wrecked the game right off the starting line and continued for weeks. With the online features at the heart of the game, this is inexcusable.
And the loser is Duke Nukem Forever.
What the hell? No! Come on, no!
With a 15-year build-up turning the game into one of the industry's longest-running jokes, this award is really Duke's to lose. Despite plenty of one-liners and babes, there simply isn't anything worthwhile to save this action hero's ego from the shame and disgrace of the bargain bin. Sure, we suspect there may be trouble, and you can't expect a kid that's held back year after year in school to come out a genius, but contrasting the long wait with the unremarkable gets you nothing but disappointment.
I've got balls of fail.